it's interesting. We're talking about the radicalism of the left, and what's really fascinating is you take up a lot of space in their head. And it's funny, you said, how could they possibly vote against lower prescription drug costs? But in the U.S. Senate, the Democrats were championing the right of men to play women's sports. They've been the party of fighting for the rights of illegals, even Tren de Aragua, Abrego Garcia, etc. They're the party that thinks it's a constitutional crisis, that you and Doge have had, nearly $200 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse. They think that's a constitutional crisis. So you're asking, how could they be that extreme? Aren't they that extreme?
Well, not all of them. I think you have a lot of them that they don't know where they are right now. I think they don't know what to do, like men playing in women's sports. I saw a guy that I know, a good guy, Democrat. He's trying to justify, 2 days ago on television, he's being hammered, and he's trying to justify men playing in women's sports, and it's sad. I wanted to call him and say, you better get off that subject. That's not an 80-20, that's about a 97-3, okay? If they talk about, the famous, they always say it's 80-20. What's not, a lot of these things are not 80-20, like transgender for everybody. Let's have transgender for everybody, your kids, everybody. That's not an 80-20. They always say that's 80-20. That's 99-1, I would say. So, look, in one way, I don't like talking about it because I don't want to talk them out of it, because it would be harder to beat them if they were normal and things. It shows that they're almost insane. And they do suffer from Trump derangement syndrome at a high level. And I guess I'm honored by that. But I'll say this, look, we had an election. You were so wonderful to me. You were really an amazing professional. You did it for the right reason. You didn't do it for the wrong reason, but you were so professional. And we won every swing state. We won the popular vote by a lot. We won everything. We won a thing called that people don't like districts. So in the country, you have districts, thousands of districts. We got 2,750 districts versus 525 districts. Think of that. That's why when you look at a map, it's actually a very important stat. When you look at a map, the map shows it's practically all red, the Republican Party. And this is a big party. We won, look how well we did with the auto workers. We won the Teamsters. The Teamsters were big for us. The unions were big. The non-unions were big. Right to work was massive. But the unions, we won unions all over the place. And we basically won workers. We also won people of common sense. Rich people, poor people, middle income people. We won sort of everybody. If you take a look at the stats, we did great with Hispanic. The Hispanic people came to us like nobody's ever seen before.